What's going on, guys? It's Jay here, aka Mojo Sports. I'm out here in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm here with Jimmy, Kentucky basketball cards. What's up, man?
Man, chilling. So glad you're finally here after talking on Instagram for years about cousins and all kinds of different stuff. It's an honor for me to have you.
I can't even believe I'm here right now. Lexington, Kentucky. This is your neighborhood. This is where it all began.
Yes.
That's important to me. You're a huge staple of the community. You have such good energy, and it's amazing to be here with you, man. I can't thank you enough for your time here.
It's a joy to bring people in and host them and show them my home. That's the best part. And say, all right, let's go eat here. Let's go see the shop. Let's tell some stories and just kick it.
Yeah, for sure. So you grew up in this area?
I did. So it's really funny. There's a Little League park 2 blocks that way. And I played there, and Walker Bueller played there. So, we both turned out all right. He had a little better baseball career than I had. Most of the places here are still the ones that were here when I was 6.
And has a lot of this stayed the same?
Oh, yeah, tons. There's a few different, but the restaurant name may have changed, but it's still a restaurant. That definitely hadn't changed. And I'm eating there all the time still.
Suggins, we just had lunch there.
My favorite chicken fingers.
Let's walk to the store and we'll talk about Kentucky a little bit here.
Let's go.
You left here, so you went to North Carolina.
I did.
And you came back after 20 years.
20 years. I lived in North Carolina, actually, and I went to college and high school in Virginia. So been gone a long time, but always knew I was coming back home. Always knew that one day I would end up back in Lexington. And my wife's from Cincinnati, and a lot of people don't realize it, but it's only an hour from Lexington. So that's why we all are Bengals fans, and a lot of our Reds fans too.
Did you always have this idea to build a card shop in this neighborhood?
It would always, and I never thought I would be lucky enough to be here because stuff doesn't move. I always wanted to do a card shop. I was like, I could do it. But I had many different careers in my life, as we've talked about. And then all of a sudden, it's like, all right, I'm going to do a card shop. And then all of a sudden, boom, this place opens up for lease. I was like, it was like getting that first pack of Prism. And you're like, I got to get on this now. I can't wait.
The rush, right?
Oh, man.
Can't beat it.
And then once we signed the lease, it was, just start pouring out ideas that have been in my head since I was 15.
I was talking to you earlier in the week, and I was telling you how you could tell a lot by someone's PC, their collection.
Nothing better than showing your PC, right? Everybody loves to do that, and it's cool because in cards, people actually do love to see that. Other people's how do you collect that and why? And then you take little pieces of other people's PCs and you say, that's a great idea. I want to do that. And this is my life. Here it is in cards right here.
All right, let's go check this out. This is incredible. So here it is, Jimmy's Kentucky Roadshow Sports Cards and Memorabilia. All right, lead us in.
Here we go.
All right, the moment of truth. We're in the shop.
We're in the shop.
This is your baby.
This is my baby. And it feels like at times we've been open more than 7 months, but we've only been open 7 months.
The first thing I notice when I come into this shop, the staple of Kentucky right here.
So this is the actual baseline from Rupp Arena from 1976, the day it opened, to 2001. And it was painted over many times. So if you look at old pictures and you see different scheme, you'd be like, wait, that's not what it looks like. It's the same floor. This was the last one that they had it painted as. But that means you had 1978, 1996, and 1998. You had 3 national championship teams that played on this. You also had the 1985 Final Four that was played in Rupp Arena, which Villanova beat Georgetown and Patrick Ewing in the biggest upset ever.
Wow. And
then you had all the guys that played against Kentucky. Shaq played on this floor. David Robinson played on this floor. It goes on and on. Vince Carter, all the guys. And then you also had NCAA regional finals and semifinals on this floor. So I knew that when we bought it, so they pulled it up in 2001, and they sold the center court, both baselines, the sidelines, all that. So I could not afford this in 2001. No, I was a teacher, no chance. But the guy that bought it, I'd heard when we moved back that he was willing to sell it because these are big 8-foot slabs, and you can't really display it in your man cave unless you got a hella big man cave.
These things are huge. This is exactly, I mean, you couldn't have modeled this out any better.
So it's funny. So bought it from him, and I was like, I'm not putting it in my house. I'm putting it in the shop. This is the floor of the shop. People can come in. People do come in and take pictures on it, line down, all this stuff, all the time. And it's funny, you can actually see the tape over there, and on those tape, it's still on it. It'll say like reserved for Lexington Herald Leader paper, student newspaper, like all the media tape is still there.
Oh yeah, because they all sit in the baseline.
Yeah, with kind of what I always say is like Card Shop 1.0, right? Where you have the cases and the glass cases and different things like that and stuff sitting out. It felt more like buy your stuff and go when you go into the card shops of old. I wanted it to be come in and hang out, and if you buy some stuff, great. But come in and tell stories, bring your cards, trade, sit. So we got the booth and then the card bar, which was a big thing in my head. It's been in my head forever. But it was so much more about like come in and chill. You know, teach a young collector something, or a young collector a lot of times teach an old collector something, especially with the new cards. But it's about kick it, and everything in here has some significance. Like every chair you see is a Final Four chair, a tournament chair, or upper arena chair. So players sat in all these.
You know, how does it feel to know people are coming 3 hours, 10 hours from California, all over the place to come to your shop?
It's indescribable because from the beginning, before we even opened it, was I want to make a destination shop. That was the phrase we always used. I want it to be a destination where people will get in the car and come here for the cards you can get on eBay. Right? Like, but come here for the experience and the camaraderie and all of that part of this and the cards. And to see that come to fruition over the last 7 months, even in a pandemic, like that, and now that it's lifting, and you've been here 2 days, you've seen the people. Like, I drove 5 hours, I drove 3 hours, I come here, we're in town, we heard about y'all. Like, that stuff to me, like, that's invaluable.
So let's run through the store a little bit here.
Sure.
Let's talk about this. So first thing I see here, check this out. We got some National Treasures boxes just holding up one of the tables.
Yeah.
This is the most unique thing I've ever seen. I couldn't even think. Usually I'd put some of my valuable cards in there.
Yeah.
But to make it out of a table.
So it's funny. So back when National Treasures was cheaper, not that it was ever super cheap, I'd have these really cool boxes lying around. And the first thing I thought was building like a big display stand and cutting through them and opening them up, which I could still do.
That'd be kind of cool.
Which would be really cool. Or building a little table out of them. And then I was like, well, wait a second. Maybe I'll use them as the legs. So then I got this. So the top of this is actually they replaced the floor at Kentucky's practice facility.
And this is part of the old one?
Yeah. So they were throwing it out, and my friend grabbed me the bunch of the pieces. He works for Kentucky. He's like, they're throwing this out if you want some pieces. I was like, I'll figure it out. Just give me the pieces. Wow. So you're going to come and you're going to get the cards out of these boxes of the players that played on this floor, and now some of those might be in here, and you're sitting in the 2012 Final Four chair that was at the bench when Anthony Davis won.
I mean,
so make everything have some significance. Oh, and if you're sitting here with your mom and dad or your brother or your sister, and they can sit in the Atlanta Fulton County Stadium chair, because I'm a huge Braves fan. And number 3, Dale Murphy.
And the Kentucky-inspired jerseys in your PC Acuna.
Oh, yeah.
We got some gamers here, some Kentucky's finest.
Oh, yeah. The Randall, Quickly, Richards, and Wall are all game used. These are from the 96 Final Four in New York that hung on the street posts in New York City. The last Final Four that was in an actual basketball gym and not a football arena. And it was my first one I got to go to. I was 18. And it was awesome. And Kentucky won and got to do that. That was pretty cool.
When people come to the store, I will say it again and again, they're getting an experience unlike anything I've ever seen.
That makes me happy. I'm glad to hear from somebody besides my own head.
There is just so much history here. There is so much culture. It's a culture
that
you're building here for people to have a good time.
That's the goal.
You know, people could walk out of here with not even buying a card. I mean, when you were gone, we saw that kid pull Trevor Lawrence number 5. I mean, it was crazy. And there was just some kid just wanted to hang out in the neighborhood. He rode his bike up here.
Yeah, that's it.
That's like the old days, right?
Yeah, come kick it. And when you're my age, you'll be like, man, I remember going to the card shop when I was young. It was so fun. We saw this happen. We saw that happen. I met this guy. And there's, this hobby is a generous hobby. There's no other thing like it. And so if kids hang out here long enough, they're going to get something from somebody. And they can slowly build. Like, there's a budget for everybody.
Yeah.
And this shop can handle high-end collectors and kids that don't have any money, and maybe get a free card from a customer. It's cool.
So you said you've been open for 7 months, right?
Yep.
7 months in, and I feel like you've been here for 20 years.
It's weird.
Scary.
Well, in a way, I have.
The sky's
It's
the limit.
the sky's
I
the
know
limit.
you got some projects, so
a
very
lot of
excited
projects.
here. Right here we have the class of '86. We got this. Was this a gift for you guys?
So this is awesome. The guy that does the bourbon buying and the alcohol buying for this place called the Pendennis Club in Louisville, he got this special made for us with the Roadshow, because of course it's Kentucky. It's bourbon time, right? Yeah. It's always bourbon time. And they brought us they brought us like 3 bottles of this. So that pretty awesome to remember that day when they walk
custom
in.
whiskey bottles. You ever think you're gonna get there? That's amazing.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. And then, over here, so I've noticed this, you have a lot of showcases.
Oh, yeah.
And these cards in these showcases, they're not $5 cards.
No.
They're nice cards.
Especially when you get to the Currys and Lucas.
There's Currys, Lucas, there's Zions, there's Patches. It's just amazing. And then, I love this. We talked about this earlier.
Yes.
So you got PJ Washington, you got some of the volleyball girls, and you got some of the signed stuff.
Yeah.
These players and athletes had signings in your store.
Absolutely. PJ was actually the 3rd day we were open. And to have the guys that I am living and dying with on the court of the field, to be up there where for $25 I can go get them to sign their bowl game picture. To have all those guys in here and then pay them well enough to, even if we just break even, fine. PJ's in the shop. I really think we're getting Quickly and Maxie in the next few months. But Maxie's playing so great,
we might not see him.
Right. But
that's cool.
I really believe he'll be here.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You said this earlier. It's not about money. You just said break even. How many shops talk about breaking even when they don't have they have a scoff on their face? You can tell by the body language.
Right.
You're saying break even with a smile on your face,
dude. But they get to meet Emmanuel Quickly and they'll watch him in the playoffs. What a thing. If you treat people right and you do things like that, again, you've got to make enough money to make a living and pay your employees well and do well. But if you just treat people right, the money will come later.
We talked about that.
It comes regardless. So just do the right thing and people will support you.
All right, let's talk about the tree here. This is pretty cool. So these are different brands of Kentucky, inspired shoes. So what do we have?
So these are all PEs. If you're a shoe guy, I'm a shoe guy, clearly.
Air Force Ones.
But the sneakerhead culture, PE, player exclusive or player edition shoes. So these are, you can get, first year Giannis shoes, this color, in a shop, but you can't get them with the Kentucky logo.
These are KD Kentucky shoes right here.
Yeah, so these are only for the players and staff. So over the years, I've been able to pick up all these different shoes from the locker room, and that's what these are.
You got the Paul Georges, you got Kobe's, you got Air Force Ones, you got LeBron's,
Kyrie's, you name it.
And there's everything. There's Giannis's, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
KD's. There's everything here and more. I think that's pretty cool. I like that. Nice addition to the
absolutely thing. And just see and feel the things up close that you can only see on TV if you're a big Kentucky fan.
What does it say right here? You're standing on the original Rep Arena floor. 3 national championships. Wow, look at that. And then this is huge. You and I kind of broke this down a little bit.
Yeah.
This is game used stuff. This is real deal stuff.
Oh yeah.
We talked about the stuff in here. There's a De'Aaron Fox nameplate in here. We got John Wall's sleeve right here. Game used.
I love the laser cut on that.
The laser cut. This guy's on fire right now.
Paul George, those are old shoes from his days on the Pacers.
Look at these. And these are beat up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We talked about those. We got signed tickets. There's some game-used De'Aaron Foxes.
Yep.
Carmelo Anthony's. And we talked about these earlier. Look at these.
Those
hottest player in basketball right now, Devin Booker. And you were telling us, hard guy to get some game-used shoes from. He likes to hold on to his shoes.
Totally, because my great friend on Instagram, Game Worn Kicks, Taylor Sharp, was able to get a pair of those for me. This for the other shoe folks, and these were actually featured on Sneaker Shopping with Joe LaPuma, and got to go and watch them film an episode with Calipari here in Lexington. It's the smallest city they'd ever been to. And they had me bring some of these over, and they were featured on the table.
That's cool.
In it, and that was really
so.
Cool.
This is like a museum to you. This is
stuff. It's not really for sale.
You don't really want to sell this stuff.
Some of the other non-Kentucky guys are for sale, but most of this
most
stuff.
of the Kentucky stuff, the Kevin, like
Just my life.
Like, look at these. These are Kevin Knox's game worn shoes. It says that he had ties to the military family. Come check these out. They have like the Captain, what is it, Captain America kind of military on there.
They got the star. You got Tayshaun Prince. Actually, on the other side, it's got Prince kind of lasered in the name.
Wow, look at those. So
this is from the Redeem team.
Tayshaun Prince. Look
and the old Hyperdunk.
We got all game used jerseys here, right?
Either game used, signed, and some of them are both.
So we got Carl Towns game used jersey right here. This is sick. It's signed by Towns.
Signed on the back. Again, I love the laser of the Wildcat, like the eyes. Antoine Walker, and this was from the first game in the Final Four when they played UMass, and we later go on to beat Syracuse to win the national championship.
And you told me who coached UMass, Calipari.
Calipari coached UMass.
Wow.
And this was his jersey. And actually, I didn't get this through Kentucky connections. This was an auction at the first national I went to. I was like, we're in. Let's go.
Wow.
I'm getting this. I'm gonna win this auction. So the year we had Booker and Towns and all those guys, we went to the Bahamas for a week exhibition preseason, right? And usually, like, Kentucky's always classic jersey, very classic looking, and they wouldn't allow like doing this type of stuff. So for the Bahamas though, they did this crazy like blue and white, different front and back. So this is his game jersey, signed by him.
Wow.
From that week in the Bahamas, and like this, like. There are no replicas sold in stores or anything. It was just a 1 week exhibition.
Yeah, where are you gonna get that at? That's amazing.
Right, and I think that's a special. Then you see the difference between the jerseys. This was a big one to get a game used Kentucky hero.
Look at
I love that.
Got the air holes in it. So smooth.
It's so much different.
The classic checkerboard.
I love that. Love the checkerboard. And if you know, so the checkerboard, what that is that was what the silks were for Secretariat. So it's a hat tip to the horse.
To the horse. Wow, that's really cool.
So this is
look at this.
John Wall's white jersey from his first ever game at Kentucky.
The North Carolina game, right?
No, before that. We played Miami of Ohio. And Miami of Ohio, we won on a buzzer beater by Wall at the buzzer against Miami of Ohio. So everybody was super nervous. And of course, we hadn't been very good for many years until Wall, Boogie, all those guys. It's not just your superstars. Like Jeff Shepard was the most valuable player of the tournament in '98 when we won it all. So that's a very classic Kentucky look
team, yeah.
Right, and then you got stuff like Tyler Eulis, who was in the league for a while with Booker. And it's like, Tyler Eulis is a legend around here. Everybody loves Tyler Eulis.
The little guy, man. He was awesome. He was so cool.
And there's his Bahamas jersey. Then some shorts. Chuck Hayes, who I was an academic counselor for, gave me some Rocket shorts.
He's a good guy.
He's the best.
Former Sacramento King. He gave me his shoes when I was younger.
The nicest dude.
Yeah, that's cool.
Some of the denim shorts, stuff like that.
That's cool, man. I mean,
yeah.
It sounds like a lot of this is priceless.
Oh, it's all museum stuff. Like, there are not many triple doubles in UK history. But Isaiah Briscoe had one, and these are the shoes he wore, and he signed them and statted them out.
Look at that. These are
really crazy.
Kobe's.
Yeah.
With these stats and everything, Isaiah Briscoe.
Amazing. Amazing stuff.
That's cool.
But my favorite, which I get a lot, is this one. So I was also Tayshaun's academic counselor, which he didn't need because he's really smart. So
wow.
Tay was on the Redeem team.
Look at this.
And this is amazing because it says Games of the Olympiad. It has the United We Rise, my gray, all the authentication. And then he signed it for me on the back.
Design. Look at this.
Brilliant jersey. Amazing.
My number one fan, too, Jim. Wow.
He's a great dude. And we can talk about it later, but you know, last guy in the world he needed to ever even acknowledge really the little white guy, academic counselor, right? And he flew us up to see Pistons play a couple times, went to the finals, like the nicest guy. And so that's probably, how many friends do you have that are Olympic gold medalists in basketball?
So what's the story behind this?
So it cost me more to ship it than it did to buy it.
And it says right here, this machine is older than Vince Carter's rookie card. Please be gentle. Winner stays.
Hey, we gotta have it. Just made it free for everybody. Come in and play the old NBA when we turn it on, and it's so fun because you'll see dads more excited than the kids, but then the kids will come in and play each other all the time.
You got a bunch of supplies here, which is always good to have.
Always.
And you got this beautiful display case of baseballs, which is a huge, like I see a staple of Atlanta Braves right here.
Oh man.
Past and present. Got Tom Glavine, Acuna. Who do we got on this?
Chipper
Jones.
I got
with the Jimmy inscription. Wow.
So I got was offered this thing through Fanatics to have 1 minute with Chipper Jones on a Zoom during the pandemic, and they signs the ball and they ship it to you. So I bought all 5 and gave 4 to people. A lot of people I had never met in person. They were Braves fans on Twitter. That was really cool.
Talk about coming full circle. That's cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Man, you got the Acuna's right here, the future
My
of baseball,
favorite.
your favorite player. I mean, that's cool to see you PCing a modern star.
Oh, I absolutely adore.
You know, so you got Acuna's, and then we got some nice stuff here. We
yeah.
talked about it. I mean, guys, this is not, this isn't like, your jersey cards. This is like Magic Johnson, George Gervin, Julius Erving, Larry Bird, quad auto. I mean, James
Mellow
Worthy,
Tiger stripe.
Ben Simmons autograph, Tiger Woods autograph. I mean, is this stuff for sale?
Oh yeah, all this.
Yeah, this is stuff.
And it's all on our website too.
Yeah, so it's on the website.
Yeah,
That's awesome right there.
all throughout. We try and put the good stuff.
Okay, so I haven't talked to you about this.
So this is cool.
I think this is cool.
This actually I don't own. This is on loan from somebody, and I said we'll absolutely put it up in the shop. So back in the 40s, and I'm not that old. I was not around for this. the Kentucky had won the national championship. And they were so good that they were the entire Olympic team. So they had the starting 5 for the Olympics as well as the national champion and Adolph Rupp coach. And this was from back then. It was signed by all the guys. So I was like, that's such a cool thing to put up, man. Absolutely.
That's awesome. We got the Final Four New Orleans.
Yeah, this
is that from
inside the gym.
Nice.
Around like between the first and second level.
Yeah. And
hung inside the gym from when Anthony Davis
was that hard to acquire?
Actually, it was through a guy that worked for Kentucky. So after you win a national championship, you get to keep basically everything. They had so much stuff, and they asked if I wanted to put this up. I was like, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
100%.
That's cool. You got some nameplates here. We got Hamid Diallo, Kevin Knox. Got that John Wall.
Yes. That was one of the first things I got signed with my friend that is in Kentucky 10 years ago, and because that was that game I was telling you about, that North Carolina game after John Wall's first game when he just went insane. And this was actually from the Raleigh newspaper. They had this picture, this super cool picture, and I got the big blown up version and sent it here. And the cool thing is, after Wall signed it, he was like, "Do you think he has an extra?" I was like, "We'll find you an extra."
I was gonna say, I could tell by his autograph, the way he signs that W. That is a college autograph right there.
Yeah.
You know, you can tell the transition of their autographs.
No
it's so
question.
interesting.
No question.
I can like totally see that. Like just being around autographs for so long, I've met John Wall a handful of times. I can just like, I've never seen him sign like that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Then Tony Delk, and Tony is now a dear friend, and he came and did a signing, and he is a legend, and played in the NBA forever. Dropped 50 when he was with the Suns.
I remember him on the Atlanta Hawks.
Oh yeah, Hawks. And he was supposed to stay for an hour, and he ended up staying for 4 hours right here, just sitting and
just hanging out.
Stories.
And that's amazing.
It was awesome. And the next day, he had to go do something else, and he and his wife. And his son, he said, "Can he stay here for the day?" I'm like, "Yeah." And we just babysitted his son all day.
That's pretty cool.
It was awesome.
That's like family right there.
Never in a million years could you tell me that Tony Delk, like when I was 18 watching him in the Final Four, that he would be in your card shop hanging out and see if you could babysit.
All right, let's keep going here. We got the, I like this.
Yes.
I like this a lot because I'm the type of person, I like to eat, like when I go eat out, I like to sit in places, I like to enjoy the environment.
Yes.
Like you said, you don't really need to buy anything. You got like kind of the bench here. We did a lot of breaks here. We hung out here.
Oh yeah. And you can see kids and people just gravitate here and there.
It's just a very nice little like environment.
It's not buy your stuff and leave.
Yeah.
It's come in.
Come hang out with us.
Come hang out with us. And if you want to buy something, great. We got a great place to do that too.
We got to show everyone the funniest thing and the coolest thing in the shop. We're going to the bathroom. Come here. This is great. I just got to say it. This is the coolest bathroom I've ever been into, and I could spend hours in here. All right, so just to show you guys briefly, so this is the bathroom. We don't need to show the bathroom, but we have a Mike Tyson autograph. We got a display of cards.
A lot of Kentucky guys.
And I'll get to Jimmy's explanation of why this stuff's in here in a moment. We got this beautiful Dirk Nowitzki signed jersey with the MVP 0607. This is a Revolution 30 jersey, which is nice. We got Wayne Gretzky here. We got Terrence Jones. All right, Jimmy. Why?
Simple question. I ran out of room for all the good stuff. I could fill this shop actually about 10 times with the stuff that's still out in storage, which we'll see. But it's like I'm not going to waste any space. So if I can put stuff up, it's cool. And wherever you go in this store, there's something fun to look at or something that could provoke a memory, we're going to put it up. And, you know, Mike Tyson was kind of a crappy person, so I put him by that.
Oh my gosh.
Even though he was really fun to meet in person.
All right, let's talk about this. This is the Wall Street Journal, and I have actually seen this.
This is kind of crazy.
You've seen this photo, so talk about this.
So, after I hit the Zion 101 and sold it and gave it all to charity, that card ended up on CNN and then in Forbes. And then they would start to call and say, hey, we're doing this article on cards or memorabilia is starting to go up. So they came, did a full photo shoot in my house. This was in Carolina with all my little card shells and different things that I have in my collection. So that is funny because Dad had been in the Wall Street Journal for finance and these articles, but never had a picture. And then when I got in there for this, I was like, seeing it's not that hard, dude. Wall Street Journal, big deal. And I was like, of course, I'm freaking out the whole time. It's unbelievable that I'm even a part of this.
That is so cool. I want to track this down.
And then the Zion card, that was, another big thing. And then we've got this one, and I put it back here because it's not a love me wall. It's not about me. None of this is about me. I love the ideas that I could put into play, but it's about the hobby and the people and Trey up front and David and all the employees and folks. It's not even employees. We're all partners, the way I look at it. But this article was written by a local guy, Ben Roberts, who collected as a kid. And man, you can see it's a long article for a card shop. And talk about capturing the vibe and what we want to do. He wrote a beautiful article.
And a collector wrote it. That's the key, right?
Man, I'm telling you. And so many people have come in and said, I read the article in the Lexington Herald Leader. And again, it goes back to like you grow up reading the sports page. And now you're in it. And like, it's just a cool thing to always walk out the back of the shop and see like, man, and let's keep grinding to do more of this because it's about the hobby.
Yeah.
Cards are the vehicle for bigger purposes, right? And to me, it's like, if I love collecting, trust me, I like to buy good cards, like no question, but you can't just do it alone and it'll all be about you. You don't want, like in my man cave, I always tell people, it's not a throne room, it's a gathering place, right? Come and hang out at my house. Come and hang out at the shop. Like it can't be just about look at all my stuff. Like, sorry, I'm an old English teacher. Like Ozymandias, like look upon me in despair. Like no, like that's ridiculous. Like it's about look at this great thing. Like you know how it is. Like you eat at a great restaurant. What's the first thing you do? You go tell everybody, dude, you gotta go to this place. It's unbelievable. Like that's how it needs to be. Like, dude, this hobby's amazing.
Yeah, look at Dallas. Look at Dallas.
Come check it out.
Dallas, this shop, that shop. It doesn't matter.
Go to Card Collector 2. Go to Indie Card Exchange. Go to Louisville Sports Cards. Like these are awesome people that will make your life better. I'm not gonna be like, don't go anywhere else but my shop. What are you talking about? Like, oh.
I know, I get it.
Let's go.
That's amazing. So what a beautiful way to look at it, man. That's attitude and perception's everything.
Right.
All right. So we got this here. We got Wildcats. We got this board.
Yes.
And this is signed by everybody that played a big role in Kentucky's sports, whether it's football, basketball. But all these people have come in here.
All these people have been in the shop, and this is the free throw line from when they replaced the same floor that was the top of the tables. But you never know who will walk in. Like Rex Chapman came in just as a customer. It's not like we planned it.
Yeah.
Like PJ with the signing and Jamin Davis for football. He's on here.
We got Tony Delk. Where is it at? Jay Bilas. That was a cool one.
So that was a really cool one. Well, Jay Bilas came in the shop. He was here for another meeting that I was in with him for some a business and app called eCoach, which is a really cool thing. And we had a big dinner that night, but they said, Jay, you got to go see Jimmy's store. And he came in and we hung out for a while. And we got him because he's by far the best college basketball analyst. Like, it's not even close. In a walk, it's Jay Bilas. So having him in here, again, watching him for years on TV and this on the board. Got the volleyball girls who won a national title, of course. Got the announcer for Kentucky. Kenny Payne, who's the assistant coach of the Knicks now. It was a big part of them getting back to the playoffs. Was the assistant coach of Kentucky for a decade and is awesome. Nick Richards, Rex, PJ. Some of my friends that played in Kentucky that were not big-time players, but they played in Kentucky. They're on here.
That's pretty cool.
Some of them were groomsmen in my wedding. But, yeah. So we got just want to keep, hopefully I'll get Maxine quickly up here.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I
Pretty
like that.
cool.
Now the cool part of this, we got the card bar.
Yes.
So let's talk about this. Why a card bar?
So-
Versus you've seen the display cases, you got the boxes up, but this is the card bar.
So this was something that I had custom made that was in my head since I was 15. So to me, it was always like I said, Card Shop 2.0. What does that look like that makes it better than what we're all used to? And I just remember those cases when you're always like, oh, I think there's something on the bottom, like that I might like, and you always like get on your hands and knees trying to see stuff. And this, I wanted it where it served a few purposes. One, it's up close and you can sit and look and see exactly, really up close what you want. Also, it's a conversation piece and it's got stools built. So it's pull up a seat and stay. Pick out what you like or what's the story behind this one. Like these that say like Kentucky Wildcats spelled out with the old SP Authentic in football and basketball. Like, that's just a cool thing to have up here. Like what, and everything from $5 cards to $10,000 Jordan dual auto with Rodman over there. Like, it's not just for
Look at this.
easier, better shopping. It's also for, oh my gosh, I remember that guy. I remember these cards that year. Carson Wentz ain't doing so good. Like different things, like whatever. And a way to just display them in a cooler fashion without the old card shop feel. And then I had them build these like sorters in there. So like if I'm sitting there and I'm ripping and I don't have a place to put the card, like okay, I can put them over here and they're safe. So I don't knock them down and knock them over. And then over here I got like, this case is not for sale. These are just PC.
I remember you said you didn't pay more than how much for one of these cards? $2,000 you said?
Yeah. This was a big trade about at the time, like a $18,000 trade for the Mantle rookie, but all these other ones, no. Like I didn't pay more than $2,500 for any of these because I was collecting these when I was younger.
Tayshaun logo, man. I just saw that. That's a big.
Yeah, and then like this is so a kid can come in and see like, oh my gosh, I've never. And it happens with kids and guys my age. I've never seen a Mantle rookie. I've never seen a Jackie Robinson rookie. Okay, well, let me get it out and take a look. Or you can just look, you're close enough where you can really see it. And then the guy that designed these from Panini came in the shop one day. He was here, he's from Kentucky, lives in Dallas, and he was like, I heard about your shop and came in. He's like, oh, you got those. I designed those. And he's like, because I'm a Kentuckian, I really took my time on where to put the diamonds and do all that. I was like, how cool is that? The dude that made the card
came into the shop.
Came in here. Like these came, John Calipari stopped by our first day we opened. And I've known him for a couple of years now and said, hey, I got these for you for your shop. And they're in the display case. They're staying up here. Like, but stories, again, going back to that stories part. That's what this case is.
What's one of your favorite memories from this entire shop or experience?
I can tell you, actually. I've told this to a few people. So we started this thing called Women of Sports Cards. You would not believe some of the collections the girls have. Like, and we're just, all the guys, we're just too loud and dumb to listen and like really pay attention to some of the girls' accounts. And I know, like my wife, she knows cards, she knows sports. So anyway, we start this little group. It's just a few right now. But like back away and give them space to like talk and get into the hobby too, right? Like it's not just guys in this hobby, and it shouldn't be. And And you can tell that just by the WNBA Prism and how crazy that went this year. And then not only the girls that collect, but the guys that collected. I mean, I love that stuff. But anyway, so one day, 2 girls come in. They're probably 12, 13. And the 2 girls come in the shop, and they're like, hey, can we buy this pack and this pack? And they didn't have their parents with them, and they didn't have, like, their brothers or anybody with them. Which to me, and then they got their stuff, and they opened it, and they had a ball, and they left. But if you think about it, that means these 2 girls probably spent the night, got up and said, let's go to the card shop today on their own, because they love the hobby, because they love collecting, because they wanted to be a part of it. And it wasn't, oh, I'm getting dragged along like some dude to JCPenney or something. Like, it was, hey, we want to go to the card shop and get some packs. That, to me, was a awesome moment, because the whole, if there's a mission statement for us, it's elevate the hobby. To me, that was a clear elevation of the hobby, and I love that. I think the other awesome moment is, had a kid come in here for his 10th birthday, and I gave him for birthday. Birthdays are special at the shop, is what I tell everybody. I gave him some football contenders packs, not cheap packs, right? But it's like, it's your birthday. And out of that pack, he hit a Herbert Auto on card to 99.
Wow.
Like an $8,000 card on his 10th birthday.
He'll never forget
like,
that.
How could you? Like, everybody in the shop went bonkers. That's the stuff where, like, what could be better than this job? I don't know when it's done like that. So I could go on and on about moments in the shop forever, but those were big.
That's amazing, man. All right, let's talk about this. We got the Cincinnati Reds chair.
Yes. Crosley Field is special because that was the first night game in baseball history. And the president flipped the light switch. And my grandfather lived in a house where it kind of on a hill in Cincinnati where it overlooked the ballpark. And he would always tell the story of watching the lights come on at Crosley Field when President Roosevelt flipped the switch. And we had the opportunity to buy one of these, and I was like, gotta be in the shop.
Wow.
Gotta be in the shop. So that one's always special. And then Yankee Stadium.
Can't beat that.
That's old Yankee Stadium. Got to go there right before it closed. But having gone to a couple games there and being able to take some foster kids I worked with to Yankee Stadium, like, just, that's just baseball history. Like, there's nothing, like, there's so much stuff that happened there. From the Yankees to the Beatles, right? Like,
would you ever get any of the Yankees to sign it?
oh, if I ever could, absolutely.
Would you get like Mariano and all those guys?
Oh man, that'd be incredible. Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be cool. That'd be awesome. All right, the last thing, and I think it's fitting that it's a PC of yours. When you walk into the shop, you see Tayshaun Prince, a signed jersey right here. It says to Jim, Tayshaun Prince. You got a family pass from 0304 when he invited you to the game, a signed piece. I talked to you about PC a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like PC is important to PC, meaning, personal collection.
Yeah.
A guy like Tayshaun, played a big part in your life.
Yeah.
You played a bigger part in his life.
I was little, but it was really cool because, again, academic counselor guy, like, he didn't have to pay attention to me. But cool guy, hung out when he was here, and then he goes to the Pistons, and then that year that they played the Lakers and win, before that they played the Pacers. And he had me and 2 other guys on the team that are dear friends come up to Detroit and go to the game that was actually Game 6, and they closed out the Pacers that night. Now, before that, prior to that game, before LeBron's block, probably the biggest block in the playoffs in NBA history was him blocking Reggie Miller. So we printed up some of these things. It was like 2 days later. And we're like, all of us said, hey, Tay, and it's weird because it's your friend, so you don't, like, it's not really about getting the autographs as much as just preserving a historic cool moment.
Yeah.
And so we printed all these up, and we said, hey, Tay, you might sign a couple of these, because that block was crazy, dude. And his wife was with us, and she was like, well, that's the first one you're going to sign, but it ain't going to be the last. So this is the first time he signed a picture of these, and you see him like his Topps Chrome card. Is that
0405,
picture?
yeah.
Is that picture?
I've seen that.
So we got my ticket from the game and the locker room pass and that, and then we had him sign. We all put on Tayshaun jerseys for the game when he had us in good seats. And they were introducing him in the starting lineups. He looked over at us, and we were all like headbands and jerseys on him. He was like, it just gave us an eye roll.
That's amazing.
But it was cool because later on, when I was a teacher and they play in Charlotte, I would go to watch him play, drive a couple hours, and I said, I'm going to bring some kids if that's cool with you. And he would always get all the kids' passes, like all the kids' family. Like, he was amazing with them. So he was just like,
yeah.
There's some pretty interesting characters out there that are pretty full of themselves.
Yeah.
Not one of them. Like, one of the great guys out there. And just always appreciate that. So he's obviously a legend here. There are lots of other legends in this shop. But, like, that's my hat tip to him is, like, thanks for being a good human being.
Yeah, and for you to share that story with other people, it's
Yeah.
like, now people think of Tayshaun, they're not thinking about, oh, he made the crazy block,
Yeah.
he was an NBA champion, USA. They're thinking, wow, he was a part of
Yeah.
your life.
Oh, no
he
question.
impacted the community
No
and everything
question.
else. It's
Took
like,
care of my kids, took care of students, took care of foster kids, all that.
that's amazing, man. That's good stuff, man. Hey, that's great. This
Dude.
shop is amazing. If you guys can make it, you come out to Lexington, Kentucky. This guy will make you feel like home.
Good.
Jimmy, this place is amazing. I love the projects you're doing. Sky's the limit. I know you have a lot of awesome things on the way, but I want to thank you for everything you do for this community and what you have here. This is going to be big.
I am honored, and thank you for what you do, because documenting this and taking the time to travel and do these type of things, it only spreads the right and the real authenticity of this community, which is, hey, there are a lot of people out there like me. I'm not special. There are a lot of people out. So getting that word out is pretty crucial, so thank you.
Hey, if you guys want to come check out the shop, we'll put the description and the link down below. Come check it out. Thank you again, man.
Always,
Appreciate
my
it.
dude.